Tonight, 31 alleged secessionists slapped with 5 charges, including rioting with weapons and participating in campaign of a prohibited group.
All of them have been charged with conspiracy to commit crime, to wit, rioting, and then the third count of unlawful gathering, for which reason they were brought before circuit court.
Meanwhile, flag bearer of opposition NDC John Mahama wades into the Western Togoland saga, saying politics of divisiveness under the Akufo-Addo administration is what's fueling agitations by the secessionists in the region.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Gasem Cement, the nation builder, and Vodafone. The future is exciting. Ready now. 31 persons arrested over Friday's dawn revolt in the Volta region have been slapped with 5 charges by state prosecutors and Accra Circuit Court. The charges relate to conspiracy to commit crime, namely to attend the meeting of prohibited organization, to attend meeting of the prohibited organizations, and to participate in a campaign of a prohibited group. Also, rioting with weapons. Now, their pleas were not taken. A state prosecutor, ASP Sylvester Sari, informed the court the state wants them remanded into custody to aid investigations. We're also learning tonight that they are now being kept in the custody of the Bureau of National Investigations, and their lawyers have been attempting to get the families to get access to them tonight as we speak. I want to bring in my co-correspondent who has been following this for us, Joseph Akable. Joseph, what more do we know?
And so first, the state informed the court that investigations are still underway, and so they want more time to carry out that investigation, and so they asked that they remand them into the custody of the police. The 31 persons who were arrested are those who were brought into the courtroom, and the charges that were leveled against them range from that having to do with the fact that they attended a meeting of a prohibited organization, and the organization that is named is Western Togoland. And they goes on to say that to attend meeting of a prohibited organization, to conspiracy to attend that meeting, and also to participate in campaign of a prohibited organization and routing with weapons. Their pleas were not taken. Their lawyers, represented by Theophilus Donko, urged the court to grant them bail, but the court declined that particular request. Again, the prosecutors make the point that investigations are at its early stages, and that the Bureau of National Investigations, assisted by other security agencies, are since gathering and following up on various leads in the Volta region as we speak. And so once they return to the court sometime in October, they'll be able to continue with the matter.
Joseph, thank you very much. I want to bring in a lawyer now for the 31 accused who've been brought before court today. Theophilus Donko joins us on the telephone line right now. Mr. Donko, I'm grateful that you could join us here on Top Story. So from what I understand, your clients are now in the custody of the BNI? Hello, Mr. Donko, can you hear me? Okay, we don't see Mr. Donko on the telephone line. Earlier, I spoke to him. He laid out the charges against him and what he's been doing since that happened to try and, get access, his clients who are currently being held by the BNI.
My clients are 31 in number. All of them have been charged with conspiracy to commit crime, to wit, rioting. They have been charged with the substantive offense of rioting, and then the third count of unlawful gathering, for which reason they were brought before Circuit Court 2 today.
Have you applied for bail for them?
I applied for bail. The prosecution said that their purpose for which they brought them to court was for purposes of remanding them into police custody for further investigation. So I applied for bail for them. The court said that it was granting the prosecution request of remanding the accused persons into custody for them to do proper investigation so that they can bring the people who were really involved in the crime that they have been charged. So for that reason, the court has remanded them into BNI custody for them to reappear on the 13th of October 2020 at 9 a.m.
Were their pleas taken?
No, their pleas were not taken.
But are they guilty?
But the non-taking of plea does not forbid or does not preclude the court from admitting the accused persons to bail.
Okay, he joins us on the telephone line, Mr. Theophilus Donko. Mr. Donko, so your clients are in the custody of the BNI tonight?
That is so. Evans Mensah.
And have you, I know you've tried today to arrange so that you can access them, but not only yourself, but their families and relatives. Have you had success with that?
The police have agreed. Hello?
I can hear you, sir.
I've agreed with the police to see my clients tomorrow at 12 noon. And then they have to communicate that information to the BNI so that they are aware that I'm coming at a particular time so that my clients can talk to me.
I know their pleas were not taken today, but yes, the key question remains. The state is charging them with rioting, with the weapons and being part of the prohibited group. Are they really guilty of these allegations against them?
Evans, I can tell you on authority that my clients, even when they had no access to counsel, they had no access to any relative, when they were cautioned by the police, they deny having committed any of these offenses. Some of them were travelers who were traveling to the Volta region, and some of them were traveling outside the Volta region. So they are not part of any secessionist group. They have never been part. Nobody has contacted them. They have never been recruited to undertake any such activity to destabilize the state.
But from what I understand, they were found in the vicinity of, within in and around the crime scene.
Yes, that one is a fact. Some of them, at the point in time, the traffic had blocked. So they just got down from their car to go and witness what was happening. The reason why the traffic was not flowing at the time. That is why they were found there. And I must also emphasize that at the time they were arrested, the people who were alleged to have demonstrated or burned the tires and other things had left the scene before the military and the police arrived. So these are innocent people that have been arrested. They have no connection, they have no relationship with this secessionist group. They have nothing to do with the secessionist group.
Okay,
Hello?
so but with the fact that they were found in and around the crime scene, which has led to them being arraigned before court today, you say they deny that they were involved in this, but so the key question then remains: first of all, why were they there? And if they were not part of those who organized, were they part of the group that the state says is forbidding, is prohibited?
Even I must put on record that these 31 persons who have been alleged to have committed those crimes were never and have never been part of this secessionist group. They were doing their normal business. Some of them were going to their farms on the day in question. Some of them were traveling from Accra to their village. Some of them were leaving their villages to Accra. That's when they found themselves at the crime scene. But they were not involved in any activity related to the secessionist group or burning of ties or blocking roads or taking armory from the police custody or kidnapping or holding any police to hostage. They were not involved in any of these crimes that have been alleged against them.
Were any weapons retrieved from them?
No weapon was retrieved on any of the accused persons. Nothing whatsoever was found on them.
So currently they are being held by the BNI. You've tried to arrange for access for them, which you've managed to get some agreement on going forward. I mean, the state says, from what I understand, that they need some more time to complete the investigations, and they're going to be held for some time. When are they returning to court?
We are returning. The court actually granted them 2 weeks to finish their investigations. So the 2 weeks from today will be the 12th of October 2020. But I have other engagement elsewhere. So we have agreed to come back on the 13th of October for them to properly charge them so that their pleas will be taken if indeed they have found any evidence or any connection or relationship with this secessionist group.
I mean, tell me something. I mean, have they, because we know the secessionist groups have been very active trying to recruit sympathizers and people to this cause. Any of your clans, been part of that particular process? Have they been approached or attempted to be part of this organization at all?
Evans, these 31... Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
These 31 persons that are before the court have never had any relationship. Nobody has contacted them. Some of them do not even know that there exists a group such as Western Togoland or a secessionist group that exists because they are illiterate, they are lay persons, and some of them are even 19 years. The only lady is 19 years, who is an apprentice who was going about her normal duties when she was apprehended. So none of them has been contacted. No advances have been made to them to be part of any secessionist group.
Some of them were also picked up from raids from their homes, correct?
Yes, one of them was even bathing when he was arrested. Some were going to the farm. So even if you were in court to see them, some of them were in tattered clothes. They were in people who were not ready for such an activity. If indeed they were prepared, they wouldn't be wearing slippers, they wouldn't be wearing knickers and other things. So virtually these 39 persons are not part of any secessionist group. And my client also says that they told me emphatically that they have nothing, they don't have any intention that Volta region should not be part of Ghana, and most of them are not even Ghanaians. Some are Nigerians who are traders who were found on the day at the crime scene. That is all. And even for the fact that you are found at the crime scene does not mean that you have committed a crime. You must have the intention, the intent, the mens rea. These were people who were just at the crime scene observing what was going on. And you realize that all of them were arrested at a particular place. This incident happened at different places. But these were the people who were arrested at the Adome site of what happened. There's a junction close to where you branch to Bato. I've forgotten the name. But that is the area vicinity within which they arrested these persons. None of them were arrested at the Sugakope or other places that we heard that was reported in the news that they were involved in such secessionist group activities. So my clients are not involved. They have told the police categorically that they were not involved, but their caution statement, they have stated that they did not commit any crime, then they do not intend to be involved in such activities, and that they were doing their lawful duties before the military and the police rounded them up.
Well, I'm grateful that you join us with at least that's the side of the suspects. 31 of them who today arraigned before court, charged with rioting, with weapons, also being part of a prohibited organization. I want to bring in private legal practitioner Martin Kpebuna, who joins us on the telephone line right now. Mr. Kpebu, thank you for your time here on Top Story.
You're welcome, Evans.
I mean, how serious are these charges exactly?
Wow, some are that serious. If you look at the ranking with weapons, that one is a second-degree felony. Okay, and that means that a person convicted may be sentenced to a term of imprisonment of up to 10 years. Up to. So that tells you that that's the maximum ceiling. Yes, so that's the most serious. When it comes to the membership or participating in the activities of a prohibited organization, the maximum is 5 years. So it ranges from a fine of 1,000 penalty units, that's 12,000 Ghana, up to 5 years imprisonment. Yes.
I mean, I just listened to the lawyer describe the circumstances under which these individuals were picked up. And we all saw what happened unfolded the entire day on Friday. Pretty serious stuff. And if you've just, waking up, you probably haven't heard about it. A group belonging to the secessionists who want to break away from Ghana stormed, attacked the police station, seized weapons, held police officers hostage. In fact, in the end, one person died. It took a combined effort of the military and police to bring the situation under control as they attempted to break away from Ghana, declare independence. I mean, Mr. Kwebu, so if you look at the charges against them, what would it take? What will the state need to prove to get these charges to stick, knowing the circumstances of the events of Friday? We've just had a lawyer say there were some of them. One of them was actually in the bathroom bathing when it was picked up. Some of them, he claims, are foreigners. If you look at these charges, I'm pretty sure there's a criminal charges proven beyond reasonable doubt. What do you have to prove?
Well, as you said, these are quite serious activities that you refer to, yes. But then, when it comes to a court of law, so let's take the Prohibited Organizations Act, that's SMCD 20. Now, it means that the state will have to prove that these persons were taking part in the activities of the Western Togoland organization. Don't forget, right now it appears the one that undertook this, let me call it, this illegal act is different from Papavi's organization. At least you can see there are differences in the flags and so on and so forth. So it means that the state will have to prove that these 31 persons were participating in the activities of that prohibited organization. So once it is proven that they knew that this organization was undertaking an illegal activity and yet they chose to go and participate, then they may well be on their way. But don't forget, Evans, as Theophilus has told you, he says his clients were nowhere near. So it means that in all of this, the name of the game is what? The evidence. It's the evidence that will prove. It's not about my say-so or your say-so. You say it. Now, beyond the prohibited organizations, then we also have the case of rioting with the weapons. Okay? So, in that case, you have to prove that these persons had offensive instruments. And on this offense, you don't only have to prove that they were guns, even stones. Okay? Any implements that are adopted to cause harm will qualify. So far in the interview you had, I'm not sure I heard about guns and maybe sticks and cordials. Well,
it says no weapon was retrieved from any of the suspects. The lawyer claims that.
Very good. Yet the police have charged them with that offense. So we'll see. We are not doing a show trial here. We are just trying to educate ourselves. So if there is evidence, same will be brought up in due course. Then we will see how it pans out in court.
Mr. Kwebu, I'm grateful. That's Martin Kwebu, private legal practitioner. We are also learning tonight in the last few minutes that another body has now been found in a Volta regional village. From what the members of the Security Council tell our reporters, it may have also, this individual may have been caught up in the shootout that ensued between the separatists and the security personnel. My colleague Ivy Setoji had been to the village in question and joins us on the telephone line right now with this developing angle to the story. Ivy, which community is this exactly?
Nyatipo community is a farming and fishing community in the North Tongue district. North
Tongue district. And what do we know tonight?
Okay, so what happened was an elderly man, believed to be a headman of the village, said a body was found. He found the body on Saturday after everything after the scuffle, when those the alleged Togolanders were in the village, and then he found the body on Saturday and reported it to the some chiefs and people of the area. Now, according to him, over 300 people that were living in that particular village are no more in the village. They all ran away, except just about 11 men who are currently in the village. So he took us to where the body was found, and it was today that the police went to take the body to wherever it is they are taking the body to. Now he is saying that the villagers are living in fear because of what happened, and that they were shooting there that very Friday, and right now all they want government to do is intervene so that the villagers who have fled the village can come back to the village.
Now, talking about villagers fleeing the town, we understand it's become almost like a ghost town right now in the wake of what happened in the shoot on Friday.
Yes, it's actually a ghost town. We got to the village, we had to cross the river to the village, and when we got there, it was as if no one was even in the village until we found some young men coming out from the bushes together with the old man, 85-year-old man we met in his house.
Ivy, thank you very much for that. I want to bring in the chairman of the District Security Council, who is also the DCE for North Tongue, Richard Collins Aku. Mr. Collins, thank you for time here on Top Story. Okay, we lost him on the telephone. I will try and get him back. Of course, on this developing angle to this story, we're learning the last few minutes tonight that another body has been discovered in a North Tongue village in the Volta region. It appears that this particular body is a result of the exchange, the heated shootout that ensued between separatists and the security personnel. The police have been there to retrieve the body. If this checks out, it would bring the total number of people dead as a result of the chaos and the violence that ensued last Friday to 2. Remember, one person was shot and killed when the military and the police responded to the chaos and the attempt to break away from Ghana. And we will try and get the DC on the telephone line. He's a chairman of the District Security Council. He's been working with the police to retrieve this body, but also assure residents there. Many of them have fled the town, by the way, in the wake of the violence of their security. Whilst we wait to hear from him, the flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, has waded into this controversy. He's blaming the politics of divisiveness for what happened.
Manifesto, no sir. You say jobs and prosperity for all. I just say to give Ghana Nibia opportunity be a work Ghana Bia. Yembia Moma, so you're Bununio, so you're Sremnio, we are Shantinio, we are Chimnio, we are Igbenio. I will say Yebiemo, Emma Obia, Edigana Humfaso. Nankoye ebusia kiti bi Ghana fo nyina pie ni abetre din fefefe we so de ye trade nipa bienu enewuye ena bebre eprepra bebre so we are Ghana ni yehwe we ni ma ese de bi ofri Burkina Faso yehwe we ni ma ese de bi ofri Togo yehwe we ni ma ese de bi we Cote d'Ivoire ni na saade no edim paipai mu na eba ene ye sa registration no ye sa eyiyimu no yehwe na esi na sen ewo Volta region so ga copy ho sa eyiyimu no na de sa ne o maneba enti yehwe ni yie abato yi yenya omampanyi a obeka Ghana abomu no dachi yebenu ye ho efise Sana Boko Haram esha se kakra ewo Nigeria ene adere sa no enti benim se nyame adom nti nyame pese Ghana eyo man baako aye na aye baako nti obema NDC asan betena akonya no so.
So that is John Mahama, is a flag bearer of the NDC, former president, speaking today on his campaign tour of the Bono region on the developments in the Volta region. He says when you take a cursory look at our People's Manifesto, it seeks to give every Ghanaian an opportunity to access jobs and become prosperous. It's not selective in its approach. In a recent voter registration exercise organized by the Electoral Commission, everyone witnessed the display of divisiveness, he claims. Now, it's this growing politics of divisiveness under this administration that sparks the agitation by the secessionists. That's how militant groups like Boko Haram and others emerged. We need leadership that embraces and encourages inclusion. Just to give a sense of what he's been talking there in Chi. We're still waiting to speak to the DCA with this latest development of a discovery of another body in the North Tong town. Once we get that, we'll bring that to you. Also try and get some clarity from the government, from the Information Ministry about the developments today. Now, isn't it amazing when your network cares about you so much so that they do amazing things for you? You guessed it. I'm talking about the Vodafone Cash dropping all charges when you send money to all networks. Yes, you had it right. It costs nothing, absolutely nothing, when you send money via Vodafone Cash to all networks. Just send any amount, as many times as you want, to any network and pay zero charges on the money sent. So go ahead, make payments, show your love, make contributions, send money all you want via Vodafone Cash to all networks for free. Just dial *110# to send cash now. Question is, are you ready?